Let me show here. This is my database. Um, this is my PHP admin database. And this is my username, and this is my password, and this is the phone number. Already is there. Other things are encrypted. It's because of the shell function I'll discuss in the codes. Now let me check how this works. So um, now this is the username and this is the password. So Albino and this is ROCK. Login is successfully connected. Now suppose if I'm going to give any other value, it will show invalid username or password. If this content is due to header concept, I will actually applied it. So with header concept, how it goes on is in this particular page. In this particular page, the header is it's like for redirectioning to another page. So it will give you to another page. But here they have asked me to give you the message invalid username or password. So to create the message after redirection, we have to follow the code question mark message, and you have to come back to this thing, and you have to give if you are getting this one thing, then you have to give this username. You have to display this message. You have to give. And initially, how this username and passwords are checked? There may be a question. How if I give Albino Rock, it's recognizing? It's a normal database query. We are just verifying whether this username and password are matching. If they are matching with the database, we are checking it. If they are matching means we'll run the query. When we run the query, we'll try to see the number of rows. If you are getting the number of rows means it's understood that that is at least one row at least holds that value. That is this query it's having. So in that case, we will execute the code. Else case, it will redirect it to and say that it is a invalid login. This is one time. If I log in, it's okay. So if I try to log in it first time, second time, if I try to access the same thing, it will show that the cookie value is albino. The first time I didn't get that cookie value is albino. How this concept is done? Cookies normal code is creating a cookie, and you have to mention number of days you're going to do. So here 60 days and 60 seconds or something into 24 hours. So all these things comes with 3600 seconds, 3600 days, 365 days. Then this is the thing to exhibit this cookie. And here this function also you should know include ones. This is nothing. If you even wanted to connect.php, just connecting to the database, we have some code that is which is mysqli connect, and mysqli select which database I want. Okay, this format is important, that is host, username and password. uh, and once it is connected, the login runs. Let me show the demo for register here. So let me show in the database. So in this register thing, I have given a restriction that if already available this particular user is trying to enter means it will not allow. Suppose if, when I'm registering, if I'm giving albino, and if I try to the same user is trying to giving means it will show that username is already available in database. But if I try to register a new one which is not yet registered, like I'm going to register Karunya as username, Karunya, and you can see it's being registered here itself. You can see, okay, just a cross verification. We'll check here. Karunya is created here. Show how this code runs actually. let me compare the code and see. And this particular line is must. It actually avoids an error. Otherwise, we'll get an error stating that the line certain things are missing. Like then this is the shall function I said. Because of the shall function only, all our passwords are encrypted. So initially, I try to enter this password through the database. And once the password is encrypted here, you have to run that query and see. It's a similar way. And you can even run a query for avoiding duplicate user. That is what the duplicate username should not be there. So here we just count the number of rows. Num rows will be counting the number of rows. So it will integrate. Normally select star command will give you the return the number of rows. That is the thing. That's why even in the login page also we use number of rows. Here also we are using number of rows. Then apart from number of rows, one more concept we'll use is fetch array. Fetch array, what it will do is like it is like an echo statement of all the values in an like an sequence, like whatever you're getting, like that it will display. This one will execute now what is there in this query, that is whatever you are inserting it will execute. Not only inserting, you are giving the query that in select star all the users, so it will display everyone. But here you have to note down that why I'm giving dot, it means dot here it denotes in uh, PHP it is a concatenation operator. In JavaScript we use plus as concatenation, and this is the $w. Just you store the fetch array in another one variable so that you need not type lengthy sentences. And then this is again the header message I've already set for the login page, similar to that. Now let us see how to change the password. So initially in the database we can see that the password here is rock. So this rock password I'm going to change. I have given a condition that if it is username and password are matching with the username and phone number are matching with the database, then only you have to change the password. Because if you don't give any restriction, anybody can change anybody's password, so that should not be done. So for that I'm giving a restriction. So now what we are going to do, we are going to change the password. We have to keep that albino and this based on this variable. So change password, albino is already there. Let me give some new password. Then phone number is 9751. So now let me give change password. So I made a careless mistake in typing the phone number. Here there is no zero in the front. So now let us see. Okay, we'll just give some password. So make sure that the password here is rock. Now it is going to change. So how it is going to change? Change password. The password is now updated successfully. So let us see how the password is updated. Now the password is changed. If we want to know in depth about what is the things, if you take away the shall function, we can again, that is, so to bring back the thing is, if you just remove away this encrypt password and just put $PA, it will again the database DBA administrator can see all the passwords. So that should be restricted. So that only we are giving encryption. So whenever you want to change the something, we go for update command, and it is again the same way. Number of rows supports the select star command because it returns the number of rows. So we go for that and For verification validation, we go and do the same logic. Here is where I'm checking which if the username password this matching with the database, then only you have to update the password. Otherwise, you should not update. That is the logic I brought